All right, we are back again. We're starting off with me, Gov-Na LoOpy, who is speaking, and Mama Tay for another episode of Gov-Na LoOpy's Roundtable. Say hi, Mama Tay.
Hi, Mama Te. Oh, no. Hi, everybody. Hello.
So we're going to start with explaining and introducing the new topic of discussion and how long we'll be discussing the topic,
The new topic.
which is I love nerdy brown people. Um, I'm a nerdy brown person. I've always been a nerdy brown person. I mostly was a book nerd, bookworms at first. Lots and lots and lots of books from fantasy to sci-fi to romance. If it was a book, I wanted to read it and I wanted in and I wanted to dive into another world that was not mine.
It's my fault, y'all. I'll take full blame for all of this.
As I got older, I grew into other things. When I found other people were interested in other things, it just sparked my interest because I get bored. So I started playing video games. Now I'm getting into anime. You don't have to be into all these things to be classified as a nerd. A lot of people like to be really.
I'm a computer nerd.
She's a computer nerd.
I am.
To me, excuse me, I don't even know the true definition of a nerd. Do you know the true definition of a nerd?
Let's look it up. Let's see what. Hey Siri, what does the word nerd mean?
Nerd is an informal term. It means
Yo,
a
Killzone.
contemptible person who lacks social skills or is boringly studious.
Oh wow, we're none of that. So Siri said a nerd is a foolish or contemptible person who lacks social skills, and then it just disappeared. But that we're not any of that. So
I lack social skills. Hey, Killzone. Say hi to everybody.
Hey, everybody.
We just introduced in the new topic, and how long will we be discussing this topic? I have absolutely no clue until I get bored with it. That's generally how it works. Let's see, we did the Circle of Black Love, and I got bored and a little bit annoyed with that. Then we did just Gov-Na LoOpy's Roundtable, which was pretty random, and I got bored with that. Now we're talking about nerdy brown people, if that doesn't sound racist.
I think we should find a different definition for nerd here. I don't like the ones that we're coming up with. Webster's defines nerd as an unstylish, unattractive, or socially inept person.
Well, they get the social part, right? Because I've been in a lot of, this is great for me to hop into the rant. This week's rant is about social groups that are Blerd themed. And if you don't know what that is, it's black nerd mixed together into a word. It's called Blerd. Oh, that rhymed. Anyway, there's so many groups on Facebook, and I was looking to join because I've been trying to step outside of my comfort zone, start being a little bit more social. So I was looking a little locally as well. So I started looking at all these groups, and there's just so many rules. Like, if I move an inch in the wrong direction, like, you okay over there, Killzone?
Yeah, I was trying to figure out what happened. Y'all glitched.
Yeah, we.
Oh, well, keep going.
Okay, if I move in a different direction, like I move an inch in a different direction, you can't do that. Post down. If I do this, you can't do that. What can I do? And who remembers all of this? It is so restrictive no matter which Blerd group I went to. And I finally found a Blerd group called the Blerd Hub on Facebook. Shout out, it's a great group, not for me.
Okay, why is it not a great group for you?
It's not a great group for me because I made a post and it was everybody posts different things in there. Like somebody posted about Pikachu anal plug, okay? I made a post, and the post that I made was as a Blerd, what has been your struggle with dating and relationships? And the post blew up. It was a great post. It was productive. People were answering into the post, and the post got taken down.
Why?
Because I didn't post it on Thursday.
What's Thursday?
Thursday is the dating and relationship day.
Oh, come on.
Well, see, this is the thing about these groups. And this is why I'm kind of like not anti these groups, but I treat these groups just like I treat these groups like, what's the word I'm looking for? I treat these groups just like a social hour. Like, you can't go in trying to, if it's not your group, you can't go in trying to promote stuff or post stuff and, you know, expect for, you know, people to allow you to post in their group, because it's their group. They cultivated the group with people that they knew. They made the group popping, and then when you come in, it's just like a new kid in the class. And basically, in these groups, you got all these different groups. You got podcast groups, you got nerd groups, you got dating and relationship groups, you got sex groups, you got all these different groups. But you are a content creator and you're trying to engage in the conversation, and they see, oh, hey, you doing this podcast or whatever the case it is. They look at that as you're trying to tell them, because people are sheep, you know what I'm saying? So people.
Well, nobody knew about the podcast, so nobody knew where I was coming from. All I did was post a question. I had been seeing relationship questions in the group. I've been in the group for a minute. I observed everything before I made the post. I didn't say I'm looking for answers or I'm doing research for podcasts. I simply asked, what's been your struggle?
Well, that's what I'm saying. And then going back to it don't matter, because you didn't follow the guidelines and the bylaws of the group. So it's like, it really don't matter. Like, you can follow the rules to a T, but my whole thing is, it don't matter because it's not your group. So until you have your group and you can get it popping and you can control or dictate what it is, because, you know, they can pull whatever out their ass and say that you didn't do what you were supposed to do in these groups, because it's just a Facebook group.
Okay, so, but help me understand. What do they benefit, Killzone? Why would they benefit from taking her post down if it generated productive commentary? And that's really kind of what the groups are for. What would have been the point of taking the post down, even if it was on the wrong day?
Because it's their group, and the fact that you when you come into somebody else's group. And I've learned this because I've been creating content. I've been on social media. When you come on somebody else's page, like if I leave, say in the past, I have left young ladies a comment, or I'll DM somebody, they can take whatever you said the wrong way, or if you coming into their group or their space or their page, it's their page. So the best thing to do is to.
I'm gonna stop you there because I'm still confused. Okay, so let's stop here, because you're emphasizing it's their group and it's their page. Like, that's explanation enough, and for me, it's not. I need more.
Can I input?
Right, help me understand why. Even if it's my page,
they don't need my post. This is if it was a group that was still building, they would have been like, okay, we may let this slide, but in the future, on this day, because they have 4,000 members, because there's a post every 5 minutes, because there's so much activity, they don't need my activity. So when I said I'm out, I got a peace sign from the admin. Like it didn't matter that I was there in the first place, because they got plenty more where I'm coming from. There are plenty of Blerd people out there that are joining. There are plenty of Blerd people that don't follow their rules and do what they want.
Just say, to message you and say, Makante, this was a great post, just in the future, can you make sure? I
had to beg for an explanation. I had to send a message to 3 admins before I got a response as to why my post was taken down. And even then, she's like, look about the Thursday announcements. And I'm like, okay. Then I messaged her. I said, y'all do too much. I'm out. Good group. I hope you're successful, but I'm out.
Okay, so I guess this is my point, Killzone, and that's why it was a question for me. Because maybe it's because of my background in customer service, right? To me, the group is all about social interaction. Nobody owes anybody money. Nobody's getting paid. Everybody's doing it for fun. Yes, I own the page. Yes, I'm the moderator. It's generating commentary. Yeah, somebody said something that's not right. I'd be like, okay, hey, it's a warning process as far as I'm concerned, to let you know, hey, Makante, we're going to take this post down because it's not on a Thursday, blah, blah, blah. Or to say, hey, next time, make sure that you follow the rules that say that this type of commentary needs to take place on Thursday because so many posts are generated. In fact, I would have a canned phrase written out already, so all I got to do is copy and paste it as a warning before I take it down, simply because it is more difficult to get a customer. It's more difficult to get a customer than to keep a customer. They have 4,000 people now. There's no guarantee they're going to have 4,000 people next month because people are fickle.
And I'm gonna be honest.
Right?
I'm gonna be honest. The group, when you come in, there are so many announcements. It's ridiculous. Excuse me. I read the basic things when I joined, but I wasn't going through all them announcements. Watching all them videos that they posted, and one of them men posted, let this be the last time we have to address this. Okay. So that should have been my warning before I dived into the group. But see, that's why I have my own Blerd group, and it's called I Love Nerdy Brown People. Okay. And I created that group because I saw so many Blerd. I mean, when I went through the whole list on Facebook, the whole list, all of these restrictions, you must support the LGBTQ community. They are riding along. I must support them. I can't just support me and keep moving with life. I must support everybody y'all support. These Blerd groups, they attack that because we're all one. We're all fighting for rights and this and this and this. And I'm like, and that was a big thing with a lot of the Blerd groups. My Blerd group specifies and say, hey, say what you want. As long as it's in the Facebook guidelines, I don't care what you do. We're all adults here, 18 plus. This is a chill place.
Okay.
That's my group.
So then I'm going to go back to, I think, something that Killzone said, simply because the reason they formed their group is for them, right? I think that's what is coming back to them, because now this is making sense. I had to just replay the conversation in my conversation in my head. Killzone, you said the reason that they formed the group, the original intent was for them. It wasn't really for everybody else.
Exactly.
Okay.
And that's why that's why I was trying to get you to understand is it's not for you to come in. It's for you to come in and you to be a part of what they got going on. It's not these Facebook groups aren't like I like these Facebook groups, these YouTube channels, these Instagram pages. You are coming on to the page as a guest, and they can get rid of you if they so choose. So it's not that they're building it to be this wonderful community. No, that's not how this is set up.
That's not the goal.
No, it's not how it's set up. It's for whoever's the admins, whoever runs the group. That's how it's for them to run it and do it as they see fit. So that's why I don't necessarily like Loopy been trying to get me to be in these groups and commentate, but I just rather do my own thing.
I want you to commentate in my group. I want to build my group up. I want to build me and a men team that understands that the group is for everybody. I do want to build a community where people are comfortable talking and hanging out and chilling. I do want to build something where you don't have to wait to a whole week to share a question because it's not relationship day. I want to build a group where Blerds can come and talk about blerdy stuff and not be called weird and just click with each other and talk about different conversations. I want that, but you got to start from ground up. I mean, like I got to start from the ground and build up. So that's the struggle with the social groups.
Okay. Well, so I get it now. So on to Blerds, because now this I'm finding interesting. We're talking about Blerds or black nerds, but I'm finding the etymology of the word nerd very interesting, because it says here that it's related to the word dork. So when you use to refer to a socially awkward or inept person, this is the word, but it's a relatively recent definition. Actually, in the 1960s, the nerd actually dates back to the 1950s, and it was coined by Dr. Seuss in his 1950 book, If I Ran the Zoo. But it's still not used in the sense that we use it today. So these are all recent definitions. It sounds like that people are taking the word and we're just literally kind of making up our own definition. I don't know the
definition when it comes to social. It's pretty awkward. If you go into these Blerd groups, They socially awkward.
But see, prior to the 1950s, the word referred to, among other things, a carnival performer who would bite the head off of live chickens.
That's nasty.
Or other small animals.
Kills all you going around biting the head off chickens.
No, let me break down this for Mama James, because you gotta come. I can tell you not in the loop of what's going on. So basically, we have taken that whatever that the dictionary is, that definition, it's just like the N word. We have taken that. It's the N word, but it's a different N word. We have taken that and we have thrown that in the trash, and now we have made it into our own culture. Because if you didn't realize it, or you didn't see, nerds ran all of last year. Like, if you think about it, you had Black Panther, which was the biggest movie of last year, and that was supplemented by who? Nerds. And it was also it was supported by Black nerds, and you had all these bandwagon ass people, Black people, that was all of a sudden they was Marvel comic nerds, they was Black Panther, they knew all of everything, they was Wakanda forever for about 3 months, and then we have been, it's just like gangsters. We've been out here in these Blerd nerd streets carrying the torch for years. Like, we have been
see us, recognize us.
Yeah, and now all of a sudden, because Robert Downey Jr. 10 years ago came in that Iron Man suit, all of a sudden, when Hollywood made it cool, that was when it was cool to the masses. But we was going to the comic conventions and going to the midnight screening of these movies in the 90s and the early 2000s, and wasn't nobody giving a damn. But as soon as Robert Downey Jr. got up there, that's when it hit. And then as soon as Chadwick Boseman and what's my guy, Michael B. stepped on the stage, that's when Black people wanted to sit up here and put their Blerd nerd caps on like it was all good. Hell no, we've been here. I've been here since '94. I have been in these Blerd nerd streets.
You were 4?
Yes, because that's what I was watching. Spider-Man and Batman, the animated series, and all that, Power Rangers, all of that.
So, Killzone, you don't think, though, that this did not actually coincide, the release of Black Panther didn't coincide with the renewal of pride for Black people as into who you are? Simply because everything that we've been doing.
Mama James.
No.
That is true. But also, I'm a need for Black people who is not in this zeitgeist to go the hell that way. Because y'all did it for 3 months. I was buying Black Panther comics. I was buying the Captain America comics and Falcon. Hell, well, my Puerto Rican cousin bought me a Falcon figure, and it's somewhere in my mama's house, buried in a box somewhere. At the age of 10, we was in these streets, and it just got acceptable for women to really come out and really be in there. That's why I tell Loopy all the time, it's very few Black women that are in this culture. So it's like a whole bunch of blurred men and nerd men that are looking and searching for soulmates, because we are judged that we're grown and we have these hobbies and these things that, we're not into sports. I'm not into the gladiator matches that people that got way more money than me dictate off the field, off the court. I'm not into watching somebody else go get some money when I can get on my PlayStation and my Xbox and stream and build my audience and get me my own money. No offense to them. They feeding their families and doing their thing, but it's still something that we don't control. You know what I'm saying? And God bless Stan Lee, because somebody echoing.
Yeah, you got your phone on.
That's my phone. Give me a second.
Yeah,
there you go. Is that better?
Yeah. So, that God bless Stan Lee because he had the foresight to put black stories in comics at a time where he got death threats, his company got death threats. You know what I'm saying? This is in the 60s and the 70s, but this is a long time coming. And for black kids, as a person that, you know, I went to school with kids that didn't have, you know, they got the PlayStation 4 or 5 years after it came out, right before the PlayStation 2 came out. I went to school with people that, you know, I had to fight with every day because they had less, you know, and we didn't have that much, but my mother worked hard. So we fight to have these Blerd nerd groups, but then when we get them, that's why it's such a battle for supremacy, because everybody's trying to make a name for themselves now as the originator of something. And I think people got to put their pride to the side because we all in this together. You're right. It should be everybody, but as long as you're dealing with a human being has egos. So, you know.
I honestly just want to have fun. I do this podcast. I was watching you the other day. You was talking about how you gonna be doing this no matter who watch, and I was like, I agree with that, because honestly, if I was doing this for who was watching, I wouldn't be doing this right now.
Right.
I enjoy getting on here and talking.
Right.
Killzone, what's your fuzz?
I ain't got no fuzz.
Okay. I heard fuzz. We good.
I ain't got no fuzz. You might have heard my phone vibrate, but you know.
I enjoy getting on here talking. I enjoy getting into the Blerd groups. Now I will tell everybody I'm not heavy into a lot of stuff, because for a long time, when I say a long time, I mean from the ages of 13 to 21, all I did was read books and work. And I am not kidding. I worked, and sometimes I read at work. And then I would come home and I would read books at home, and then I would go to work and read books, and then go to work and read books, until one day my friends started talking about video games, and I was like, I'm bored. I want to do something different. And then I decided to play video games. So I'm not heavy into a lot of stuff that when I say Blerd, people think, oh, so you like this, and this. No,
right.
I don't have to
hardcore. I would say you're not a hardcore Blerd.
But you don't have to be. I would be what you call a bookworm at that point, or a gamer, or a casual gamer.
Right, because we're kind of laid back people, though. I think
I don't get heavy into stuff like that. Because I'm a person that if I get so heavy into it, like books did for a long time, they took over my world. Yeah, my world was books.
Yeah,
I was shut out from everything else. I didn't care about anything else but reading. If I get so far into something, it takes over everything.
So balance is for you.
Balance for me is not getting into something.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I just got into anime. So we see how that goes.
So to me, what's the classifications of what is a Blerd into? So whether casually or hardcore, they're into video games and anime. Comics, superhero movies, but you can't just be into the superhero movies, right? As a classification,
No.
The origin stories, the comics, and everything. It's like gotta be Big Bang Theory, right?
Well, no, because black people, on the other hand, we got it's different. That's why we call us Blerds, because you can't put us in the
society.
It's his own, because we got black people. We could be nerds or we could be whatever, but we still got swagger. We still are black, and we still are cool. But we're able, like I always said, I could be in the middle of the north side right now shooting dice on the corner, and then be immediately in Chesterfield going shopping or at Top Golf or whatever. Like I could weave in and out of these different worlds seamlessly. I don't have to be. Whereas white people, you ain't gonna see a white man or white girl down the hood unless they from that area, interacting and being able to move in their zeitgeist. That's why when 21 Savage had the song for Mortal Kombat, like it was, it was fitting of the setting. Like it was.
No, it wasn't. We still not gonna agree with that. It was not fitting. It didn't match.
Okay, you didn't fight everybody every day like I did, Loopy. So I can get down. Like I literally Mortal Kombat. My mama bought me Mortal Kombat so I can learn how to fight. Like it not to learn how to fight, but so that when violence came my way, she explained to me that, hey, this is a video game. You know, this is fictitious, but you know, in the next breath, I'm having problems at school fighting. So, you know what I'm saying? I'm learning, okay, these are moves. And that evolved into me going to actual karate. And that evolved into me interviewing the guys who created the fighting style, you know, at Mo GameCon, and that blowing up and be, you know what I'm saying? It all built onto it. So I know actual karate. I know, you know, how to, you know, assess a situation. I know how, you know, to, you know, where is the exit, how to size somebody up, what to do in certain situations, how not to back down and show fear. These are things that they teach you in actual karate. So when I heard I listen to old school gangster rap and hip hop coming up, my sister, you know, had NWA tapes and stuff blaring. So when I heard 21 Savage, a guy from the East Side, Zone 6 of Atlanta, where you know they what's called a Gucci Man and Andre 3000, all these other Big Boy, all these different rappers come from. I understand it because this is, I know I have people that have lived there. I have family members that have moved there. So when I heard that song, I heard a guy basically saying, "Hey, we get ready to fight. Y'all come over this way. Y'all gonna get dealt with." And that's the basis of the song. It's in sync with the song. Now, if a lot of white people and some black people that are not accustomed to this, or not used to getting up every day, having to go to school, not trying to learn and get an education, but being ridiculed because you are you're a tall guy, you're a black guy who's into these different things, where everybody else is talking about, you know, the gangster rap and who's smashing who in the locker room and who's gonna beat up who after school, or who's gonna rob the liquor store or the candy store after school. You have to fight. So when I hear a 21 Savage song, I'm not intimidated by it, or I don't feel like it's not fitting of that trailer. It's a compendium of the black experience, and it's a compendium of the Blerd experience, because okay, I got Mortal Kombat here, and I got
understand why I don't think it meshed well.
Okay, well that's a whole. We can talk about it if you want to. We were supposed to talk about it last night on Decent Bits, but you know, we can talk. Go. You can give Mama Tay your perspective. I just wanted to explain. This is the inter battle, Mama Tay, that we have in the Blerd culture, because you got people that like me. I was never in the streets, but I was close enough to it that I understand it, because all the people that was either in the neighborhood, you know, or you know, people that me and my family had known or had been in the neighborhood that we have known, and the people that I was dealing with on a day-to-day basis. That's what, you know, made me appreciate it for what it was. But go ahead, Luke, explain, break it down for Mama Tay why you didn't like it.
Okay. The reason why I did not like the trailer song is because the words were on point. Words were fine. I definitely enjoy hip hop. I enjoy hip hop. I love rap. It's fine. All of that's fine. The music, whether if it had been a rock, if it had been a guitar that was the bass of, remove the bass, remove the whole hip hop aspect, and they had the guitar or something like that making the same sounds that was going on, whether it was rock, hip hop, R&B, popish, it didn't go well. You know how Mama tell you know how I am about video and music matching. Mm-hmm. You know that's what I did for a long time. Mm-hmm. So when you take the words, someone saying the words without music would have fit that video more than the music that he was going with the video. It just did not match. And not only did it not match, it was of poor quality. It it sounded like he was in a basement recording in a bad environment, that's not good for recording. And then it didn't the quality of it, the sound of it, the song itself did not match the quality of the video and the level of the video, nor did it move with it.
Okay.
Well, that's your opinion, but I bet you if you put that on for Mama Tay and have her watch it, it will remind, because 21 Savage, like I said, is like if you took Big Boy and NWA, Big Boy from Outkast and NWA, and maybe I'm trying to think of somebody who has like a low raspy voice.
But it's not an attack on 21 Savage. To me, it's more of an attack on the quality of the song and the music behind his words. It's not even attack, critique. It's critiquing of why does this music, your words are on point, what you're saying is good. Why does this music not match this video? Why is it not in sync? Like it was like a video. It was like if you put a video on TV and like the internet was moving slow and the people wasn't talking to keep up with what was going on. That's what it felt like. So I'm not saying 21 Savage is a bad dude. I'm not saying he can't do music. I'm not saying
it's a bad song.
Exactly. It just did not fit.
The music and not even the words, but the music behind the lyrics.
Exactly.
Okay. So let's do this, guys. Let's put a pin in this one. And then I'm gonna watch it. And then when we come back next week and talk about blerdiness in all of its beauty, I can give my opinion on where, because Killzone, unlike you and Loopy, I am from the streets. So I spent the majority of my youth, majority of my young youth in St. Louis City streets, rapping with the rest of them. I had to actually do the fighting to survive, you know. But my mom made an executive decision and decided that she needed to move me to Brentwood before I got pregnant and ended up in jail. So that was her goal, and she made that decision when I was in the 7th grade. So that ought to tell you just how bad I was. All right. So the truth of the matter is that it's good to have perspective. It's good to be able to come from. It's good to be able to come from both perspectives, and you guys seem to come from. Nikki's coming from a music supervisor kind of point. That's what you want to be. You know, when you're young, she wanted to be a music supervisor. She wanted to match the scores of movies with the movies to come up with the soundtracks or the perfect songs for each soundtrack. So for her, it was a direct analysis of the quality, the production of the song, the length of the song, what the words were saying, all of that to see if it matched this particular scene or movie. Because on you coming from a strictly, I can appreciate this because I can relate to this aspect. So it relates to you on a more personal level. Right?
But I also did. I also rapped and did music and stuff myself, so I can understand. I have compartmentalized different people, different artists, and I understand like different styles and different genres of different music. Like I said, it's like 21 Savage is not like one of like my favorite rappers. Like his last album he just put out right after this trailer had came out, which I thought the song was gonna be on there. Was actually the first album of his that I think that was, you know, that I listened to all the way through. He had a mixtape with a local, well, not a local, he's an international superstar, but he's from here, Metro Boomin, that I like. But like his last project, his debut album, I didn't really necessarily care for. So when he brought this second album, I kind of was feeling it a little bit more, and I realized he's a very minimalistic street artist. So, you know, I got it from that aspect because I too have made music, and it's kind of straddled the line. Like my music kind of straddled the lines of Blerd and street culture and everything else. So, you know, I had a different perspective on it, a different takeaway, and a lot of people, like you said, like some people had Loopy's standpoint, but we had Post Malone, and they had Eminem do a trailer for the last Call of Duty that came out, and nobody had a problem with it. It wasn't really like, I didn't really feel like that song went, but you know, because it was Eminem, everybody went along with it strictly because it was Eminem. Like and that's my thing is anytime a black person was with Wiz Khalifa, which I feel like Wiz Khalifa's Mortal Kombat X song was way better than the 21 Savage song, but it seems like every time it goes back to what I was saying earlier about Blerd being accepted, because I feel like, and this might be controversial, but I feel like Blerdness is still not accepted in the black community. I mean, it is kind of to a point, like people they can't ridicule us or they can't condemn us anymore about it. Like if you have your own, people have their own subgroups now. So where in the past everybody was like on their own and then everybody wanted to fight to be cool. Now you got kids that are at school that have their own groups and cliques that are of Blerd nerd descent. And now these kids don't have to go through what I went through or what Loopy went through, where you had to be cool or you had to try to, just to survive the day, and now it's different. Now all these kids and everybody's playing Fortnite, whether you're cool or you're a hardcore gamer or whatever, everybody's playing Fortnite, everybody's playing Call of Duty, everybody's playing Madden or 2K or Mortal Kombat or whatever fighting game, Street Fighter. Everybody's a gamer now, and there's more people playing games now than it was 10, 15, 20, or even 30 years ago when they came out. You probably remember Pac-Man and Asteroids and stuff like that, Mama James, when you were growing up. You know what I'm saying? But
I also remember the original Mortal Kombat, which I played along with Street Fighter and all of that kind of stuff too. I was playing Grand Theft Auto when it came out. I actually worked at the video game store. I worked at GameStop for 4 years.
So, Killzone, do me a favor. Send me that Call of Duty trailer with Eminem, and I'll critique the hell out of that too.
Yeah, I'm interested in that one now. Like you mentioned,
it ain't got no color, ain't got no popularity on it. I'm strictly about does it look right to me?
Right. I'm very interested because I didn't know that Eminem did one, so I'm very interested. So Loopy just let me listen to it while you were talking as well. So I was listening to you and I was listening to it. That's the beautiful thing about being a woman, Killzone. We can multitask. and I can honestly say I get you. I get what you're saying, and I get what Loopy's saying. I think that my deal is that honestly, I gotta be real with you. You know, Loopy will tell you I love rap, but I only love gospel rap.
I respect. I listen to
that's not rap at all. Well, she likes T-Bone.
You raised me on gospel
right?
rap,
She likes T-Bone, Grits. She likes certain gospel rap artists. You know,
I don't like that.
Mean,
I
shout out
church music. I like the T-Bone
contemporary.
T-Bone goes in, but you don't feel like
So I'm more like a Bizzle fan. I like bumps NF, and or NF now. He just dropped the bumps, I guess. So it's just NF, and I like.
Mama, you like mumble rap.
I don't really like mumble rap. No, I like rap. I like all
Bizzle.
kinds of
I've been
rap.
listening to Bizzle since when he did the freestyle about Jay-Z, and he was still kind of going in. But he's doing it now. He did something about Jay-Z recently that I didn't really, or somebody recently that I didn't really appreciate, because at the level that he's at now, he don't have to, try to get attention by dissing people. But that's a whole different topic for a whole different show.
It is. Just to say that's my preference, but I listen to it though, and I can honestly say, while I like the rap, I like the rap style. I do think that the music in the background could have been different. I don't know what it could have been because I'm not a musician. See, that's where you and Loopy would have conferred. You guys will look in your professional opinion. But I want to get away from this topic simply because are we supposed to be talking about dating or just Blerd living?
We're going into dating, but I want to finish this out after you watch the video.
Okay, so I did watch it. So I agree with both of you. I like the rap because I'm a huge rap fan. My all-time favorite rap, MC Light. You can try to somebody girl. I can still sing that by heart. And Loopy will tell you it irked her soul because sometimes she'll sing along with me. Sometimes she'll be like, "Please stop."
I love MC Light. I feel like MC Light did not get it she deserves her just due, and I think we need to
She's
MC
a
Life story.
matriarch of it. She's a matriarch of it. You know, because there was rapping and there was junk food rapping. So junk food rap for me was like salt and pepper. Like they weren't really rap, but they were fun to listen to. You know, they were the junk. They were like a Snickers candy bar. It satisfies you, but it don't really do nothing for your health. You know, but MC Light, that to me, she was a true rap artist. I think that she was very talented in the industry. So she's one of those people, a paradigm pioneer is what I call them. And I look back on her, what she did, and I say, yes, I think that she set a standard for women rappers everywhere. She was one of those that set that standard.
She's actually in St. Louis on New Year's Eve.
Was she?
She was DJing the party.
Oh, was she? I didn't know that. She just has this unique voice. It's like no one in the history of rap has had a voice like that and will ever have a voice.
Did anybody ever step up
like
to MC
that?
Like, I don't think so.
No.
Because she would just say, sit down.
Yeah, I mean, just
Put your
her
hand
voice.
down, little Steve.
Her voice alone. Yeah. Put her hand down, little Steve. Her voice alone was enough. But yes, I like the rap portion of it. I just think that the music probably could have been better, but also I was trying to listen to it while listening to you too. So I'll probably listen to it again later so I can give it my full attention. But let's move on, Loopy, to closing this out. I think that you're both right. Can I do that? Can I say you're both right?
Sure, Mama Tay.
Okay, so can we move on to the dating aspect, because I'm very interested in this dating in the Blerd community thing.
Okay, so
and please lump in what Killzone just said about the fact that he feels that Blerds are still not getting recognition. Okay.
So I wanted to go into,
because I'm getting static from you.
Killzone.
I'm here.
Okay. I wanted to go into understanding versus acceptance when it comes to the struggle of dating as a Blerd or dating a Blerd.
Go ahead.
Dating as a Blerd or Blerds. So
what? She's talking. Go ahead.
So dating as a Blerd or dating Blerd. So when I did ask that question, I had I think over 100 comments before they deleted it within 20 to 30 minutes. And so what I gathered from that is what I gathered from what I saw when I asked what that struggle was. The main struggle, they said, is having people understand who they are, or wanting someone on their level of intelligence, or wanting someone on their level of nerdiness. Like, they don't want anybody unless they have this criteria, this criteria, this criteria, this criteria, which brought me down to, which I concluded to be just like everyone else. And as much as they don't want to hear it, they're just, the people that I was reading the comments for, they're just like everyone else. Have this long list of things that they want to meet, and if the person doesn't meet that criteria, then they're not it. And so, due to their long list of if you don't have this, and this, and this, it's too much. Not every person is going to be on your exact level of nerdy or blerdiness, but they're somewhere on your level, and you click and you match, and it's effortless, or you know what I'm saying? It's something that you can move with, but because they don't like this one anime show, you're not gonna date them. And then a lot of it was people don't understand. And my thing was, you don't have to understand it. You don't have to understand everything about me. If you understand everything about a person, at that point, to me, they become boring. You don't have to understand it. You just gotta accept it. There's so many people. It's like, I want them to understand me. I want them to understand this. I want them to understand. Have some mystery. Your person that you're with does not have to understand why you do every little thing that you do. All they gotta do is accept some things about you. Accept that you like some quirky things. Accept that you enjoy certain things. Except that you watch anime. Maybe every once in a while watch anime with you. Except that you play your video game. You know what I'm saying? Is you're out here trying to get them understand everything you do when all you need is the acceptance. Because if they accept you, that's more than enough. And if they understand you, that's just the cherry on top.
Okay. So basically, so are we saying that Blerds are now trying to make it an elitist type of blerdism?
Not now. It's always been that way. And that's why I've wanted to get out into the groups in St. Louis and stuff, but I'll read stuff online and get intimidated because I don't want to feel stupid, look stupid, do something wrong. It's so intimidating because I'm not on that level. There was some group like, if you don't do this, you can't join us. If you're not this good at the video game, we don't want you here. Or this is so. It's like I want to go, but I don't want to be that person that stands out as she doesn't belong here, or this isn't for her, or how could she even consider coming this? She shouldn't even be here type thing.
Well, I'm gonna say this because I dated somebody who they accepted, you know, who I was or whatever. It didn't work out or whatever, and we went to PAX. Now, it was a guy who was at a booth, and I was trying out a game. Like she played stuff that she wanted to play or did stuff that she wanted to do, and you know, it was cool. Like, you know what I'm saying? She was there supporting me. But this guy walked up to her, and just like Loopy was saying, he was trying to force her to play this game, and she was like, I'm cool. So I had to go and tell the guy, like, hey, she's my camera person, you know what I'm saying? If she don't want to play the game, she ain't got to play the game. And then John John wasn't there, but I told John what happened just in case they tried to give us some flack because I was representing his website as well as my YouTube channel at the time. So I get where you coming from, but you can't let that, you know, deter you from going places or whatever, because it's like you'll never know how it's gonna be. Like I was kind of the same way about, you know, the local hip hop community, and I stopped messing with them just because of like the disrespect that I saw. You know, not to bring it up because I don't want to go too heavy on the negative side, but it's just like if they start directly disrespecting you, that's when you know what I'm saying? That's when you dip out, because you can support somebody or whatever, and if they disrespect you for doing it, then that's where you not come around. But if they invite you, hey, come out to the event, or hey, come out to this function or whatever, go out. Because I went and I didn't feel like you got to ask yourself, is it them wanting to include you, or you want people to notice that you're there? And the only way you can get people to notice that you're there is by being a participant in what's going on. And then even after you get them to notice it, it doesn't mean if they're going to get down with your campaign, and you just have to continue to do you. Whether or not, just go to these events, have a good time. Like we had went to the Twitch thing, that was a good time until, you know, we had to bounce because they didn't have nothing going on that we wanted to, you know, partake in, and all the sign-ups for the tournaments was booked up. But you know what I'm saying? There's certain things you just go and you have a good time, and when you get ready to leave, you get ready to leave. Like I went to the Smash Brothers competition and I was not prepared for it. I got beat by this kid on because I used the GameCube controller, he used the Switch controls, and I felt violated. So instead of me waiting, I said, well, shoot, I need to go ahead and practice because, you know, I need to go ahead and practice. I just left.
So, and not to interrupt, and we got one of the comments here, and I kind of like it, but I want to share with you guys to see. So, Adaron is one of our viewers. He said, okay, people need to recognize that we're all individuals. Some things we like will be in common, but others won't. Accept and enjoy commonalities. Blerds are like everyone else. So my guess is, or my question is this. So in this community, when you've got this expectation of meeting certain criteria, is there a basic criteria that everyone must meet to be considered Blerds. Like to
No,
me,
I think what it is, Mama Tay, is because we have been persecuted for so long. You don't want to.
Did you just say persecuted?
Yeah, we have been because I was persecuted.
They don't want any pretenders, anyone that's a trender hopping on a trend.
Yeah, you don't want a hipster coming into your ranks and reporting on what's going on. No, for real. Like this is real deal. This is this is almost.
So by pretender, you mean like if I was popular in high school and I was a jock, which I was. But see, no, I went to Brentwood and it was a small school, so I could be anything I wanted to be. I could hang out with the jocks. I could hang out with. I was part of the varsity club. I was also part of student government, and I was also part of the nerds. I played chess. I was in Brentwood, a small school. You could be whatever you wanted. You didn't have to fit a specific category. You were just you. I was just Tay, and everybody knew me as Tay. And that's why I wanted to raise my daughter in that environment, because she had the freedom to be herself without being lumped into a certain category. While out of all of that, I can definitely say that my defining characteristic was basketball. My defining achievement was basketball. So I was more known for basketball than anything else, but basketball didn't define who I was as a person, if you get what I mean.
You're right.
That being said, so when you say pretender, like, so if I would walk in there, even though I played chess in high school, even though I had interest in comic books and movies, I was a big reader back then. I loved movies and memorized movies and superhero stuff. I did all of that. So are you saying that because my defining achievement was basketball, if I were to walk into...
No. What they're saying is, this is what it is. You don't want somebody who's not of the zeitgeist to come in and complain, because for Mo GameCon, I was listening to shout out to the video game show, my boy Rich Bergen. He was dating this girl, and he starts telling her, like, he knows when to turn, like me. He's a white guy, but he knows how to turn it off and turn it on. He's big into sports. He's big in he's a big guy too, but he takes care of himself, and he's a nice, decent, looking white guy, no homo, whatever. But he was dating this girl, and the girl said to him, I don't know what she looks like or what her disposition is. He was at the table with her at a nice dinner. I don't know what it was, Applebee's or was it Ruth Chris? I don't know. But he begins to tell her, like, okay, this is what I do for a living, and then I do this podcast. And so she starts laughing at him, like, who would want to sit there and listen to you talk about video games?
Really?
And so we were supposed to, I forgot, and he forgot, we were supposed to all do like he got on the podcast, and his friend that listened to the podcast that was heavy in the game, she just never was on the show. He was supposed to like diss her on we were supposed to all be in front of the marquee of the event and like disrespect her, but we didn't do it. He was upset in that moment, I guess. But okay, shout out to him.
Why would you let the opinion and this is me. Here's me. Because first of all, that doesn't sound like somebody that's a pretender. That sounds like somebody that's the female dog, for lack of a better word. And she would have done that at any organized function, no matter where she was. She sounds like one of those critical people that would just look at someone and go, "Oh, you're wearing that tonight." It doesn't.
Yeah, but that's we don't want people that's super judgmental to be off in the zeitgeist.
But that's not
so. And he wanted to date.
Can I offer something real quick?
Yeah.
To me, what a pretender is to take something, a craft. So gaming to Killzone will be a craft. It's something that he's been working at, something he's been doing his whole life. He enjoys. So you don't want anybody to take your craft, man. You don't want anybody to take your books.
No, my books.
You want a writer, a pretender to come in and then tell you what they think is right to do. To take your book and break it apart. They've never written a book in their lives, and they're planning to write a book, and they've never done anything towards writing. They know nothing about it, but to take your book, break it apart, critique it as if they're an editor or a writer, and then tell you everything that you're doing wrong and what you should be doing and why nobody would like your stuff. But what they're saying is right because in their mind, they've built up whatever they want to call themselves, that they're the best. So they come in and they're pretend,
but they've never done it.
They pretend that they're a writer, and then they are editor, and they tear apart your stuff. They pretend that they're a gamer, and they challenge you like they the best thing, but then you whoop their butt. And they continue to act this way, like I'm better than this and this and this. I know this. I know
you
more
than
their butt. So
they
don't know
in the pudding.
But see, I'm the type of gamer that this is a game I played for Honor. They would whoop my butt, but I still wouldn't be quiet. And I told them before we fought, I said, you're going to whoop my butt, but I'm not going to back down. And they were like, you talk all this stuff, but you can't back it up. I said, I never said I'll win. I said, but I will tell you that if you continue to attack me, I'll step on that field and you can whoop my butt. We just gonna keep going at it again and again and again and again. I don't care. Okay. But I'm not going to back down from the situation. There's that, and then there's the person that says, I'm gonna whoop your butt, I'm gonna win, and then get beat by everybody on the page. That's the pretender who pretends they know more than you know, but they don't.
But
and
they're getting beat.
And they're tearing apart your craft.
The proof is in the pudding. They're getting beat. If they
were logical individuals, they wouldn't be a pretender.
I'm confused. But okay, so you have people in your world then that basically come for the sole purpose of, and what did you call those people on the internet who trolls? Mm-hmm. Yeah, so they're like trolls then?
Yeah. Basically, they would come in they would come in to basically just ridicule and talk down on what's going on, and they might buy they might buy into it, or they might whatever. They just come in basically to troll, or they come in basically to put down, like I was saying about the young lady. It's like you coming in basically to put down or clown the culture. And so when you're doing that, and you putting down and you clowning the culture, and you putting down and you clowning the community, then we don't want you to come in because you're a poser, you're a troll, you're not about this lifestyle, and we're about this lifestyle. So it's that's just what it is. So
what do the trolls get out of it?
I don't know.
They no. They want to come in because they see that we have something that they don't have. We have a purpose, or we have a hobby. Most people that dunk on the hobby or dunk on what the community is, they are upset that they're not a part of it, or they just generally just want to, I got a friend of mine. Well, he was a friend of mine, but he kept on disrespecting me on a whole bunch of different fronts. He called me out to play this game. I whooped him twice. Then he wanted to play a money match. Now he hit a milestone in his career. He's very successful or whatever, but he basically, he called me out and never showed up to the fight. So I kept pressing him on it, and then we got in the inbox and started having the back and forth, and he wanted to basically shit on me because I'm not making the same amount of money that he's making in his craft or whatever. So basically, like, he's a person that, he wants to, come in or whatever because he got the money or whatever. He say, well, I just get him, I play him one time, and then I give it away. Then you need to just stay over on your side and not even post that you playing the game or whatever, because you don't play the game. Like, you make music. So you don't strictly to either to make fun of people in the culture, or make fun of people because they feel like they're better. They feel like this is a waste of time. They feel like what we're doing is not, because until they were successful, what they were doing, people looked at them as a waste of time. So this is the thing. I don't judge nobody's life. I'm not nobody's life. I don't judge what people do with their life. I don't even care. Like, it's gotten to the point where I post my stuff online and what I'm doing. I don't see what everybody else got going on because I don't want to compare and contrast my life with your life. I'm doing me, and that's just how I'm moving in 2019. And with the gaming community and the Blerd community, what we don't want is people to come in and judge us. But you know, nobody, like I said, Mom, at the top of this episode, nobody had a problem. Black people, these same black folks that were screaming Wakanda forever was shitting on me in the 6th, 7th, 8th grade, high school, grade school for liking it. They would try to fight me to take my comic books and my game magazines, and everybody and their mama was post. And first I was the one saying, look, if y'all don't go see Black Panther, I'm gonna snitch on everybody who bootlegging the cable. I'm snitching on everybody who got a fire stick. I'm wreck shop because y'all will go see all these other movies, but then go see Black Panther. And then after everybody saw Black Panther, they wanted to act like they was all people it's just like a game. It's just like a game bank. If you know somebody that's on the block, this is what it was explained to me. If you know somebody that was on the block that was faking and perpetrating, that was being a wankster, that's not about this life, we gonna deal with you. And that's what they don't want. But for Loopy's thing, because she's just now coming back into the zeitgeist, we're gonna welcome her with arms wide open. There are some people, however, though, who are, you know, these dudes are sexist. They don't get no female. They don't have any female interaction. They've never been intimate with a woman. All these different things. So they are apprehensive about women coming through. And in some circles, like I said earlier, that are, you know, they are, what's it called? They are apprehensive to Black people. Okay. You know?
And so, I hear you. And I hear you. And I think that you definitely have a valid concern and argument, especially if when you were a kid, someone was bullying you for liking what you like. And now those same people are jumping on the bandwagon. But that is the nature of human beings, right? That's the nature of folks. People are trenders. And basically that's why we have the word trend and we have the phrase trending. Whatever is popular, people want to jump on the bandwagon, right? And you got to admit, Stan Lee, Iron Man, superhero movies for the last 10 years, they have become the end thing. You know, now Mick and I, we loved that before. I remember Adair, who's commenting on a lot of these posts, he gave Mickey a whole stack of comic books when she was little. Whatever happened to those comic books, Mickey?
I go find them.
No, we didn't even want to talk about it.
I was like, you want to answer that now? Okay. But he was saying in the section there, he was saying back in the day. No, that's not the one I wanted to read. What was he? He said, "Have you ever had someone that ran their mouth, then put a person who hasn't played the game, who do one move all day and beat them? That's called spamming. That's what we call that." And I don't like it. Wait. At first, when I first got into the fighting games, I was doing it, but then somebody said, "Why are you spamming?" And I said, "What's spamming?" He said, "You're doing the same attack over and over again with no skill, no combos."
That's all I know.
And so I said, "Oh, what's a combo?"
That's like telling me in basketball, though, that if all I've got is a jump shot, I can't take my jump shot because I should know how to do a layup. I should know how to shoot free throw. Yes, I should, but if this is my skill and I'm playing the game, I'm going to use my skill.
Well, then it's winning in an unrespected fashion. So I said, okay, teach me combos. So he started teaching me how to do it. This is all over a PlayStation party, believe it or not. He started teaching me how to do things, and I was like, that's so much cooler. He says, yes, and it's a more respectable win. He said, you're new to this, aren't you? And I said, yes. He's like, there's some unwritten rules that you need to learn.
Oh my gosh.
And it's important because if you go into if you decide to get into a tournament and you start playing like that, you're not going to get very far.
Well, they'll probably spank you, but that's my whole point. Yes, you have to come up in skill. But in the meantime, what I teach my kids as far as basketball is concerned, especially when coaching basketball, is that you have your strengths. Utilize your strengths. We're going to grow your weaknesses up in the shadows of you utilizing your strengths. A lot of coaches tend to focus on the weaknesses and ignore the strengths. And so the kids never get stronger where they're already strong in turn of trying to even out their skill set. I am all about using what you can do naturally. And then as you build on your repertoire, you become an even better and seasoned player. That comes with time. I get that.
It doesn't work that way though. But then people don't want to play with you. I couldn't find people to play with it. He said that's why you're spamming. Nobody wants to play with someone that's spamming.
You just don't do that one kick. That's all I know.
It doesn't matter.
I respect the fact that he taught you how to do the combos, and I know that most games have practice features. Right now, you have like sandboxes and areas where you can practice.
Well, he didn't necessarily tell me in a nice way at first. He yelled at me. He was like, "You're a shit player. You're spamming. You're doing this and this." And I was like, "What's spamming?" And that's when he calmed down, when he realized that I didn't know what I was doing.
But wouldn't you expect that most players that are spamming really don't know that they're doing it?
No, they're troll players that just spam because they can.
You know what? This is actually funny to me. And I say this because I guess to me, life is so much more when you're older. I'm 47 now. But life is just, it's like, this is just so petty. Can't we just all just enjoy the game, play the game? Because with respect to the fact that you were bullied, so I definitely understand that you're feeling toward people who are now
they tried to bully me. I wasn't going.
Well, they tried to bully. Well, whatever the case may be, they tried to bully. When I say bully, that's the act of bullying. Whether or not they were successful or not, whether you stomp them in the ground or not, they still tried. The act of bullying is called bullying. That doesn't mean that you were beaten. It just means that they were performing this act of trying to bully you. Whether it worked or not is irrelevant. The bottom line is that they did it because they wanted to be seen as popular. And what you was doing was not popular. And so what we do with society is we take what we consider as the weakest link, or the one that's more different than most, the one that people will jump on our bandwagon and make us popular, and we attack the weaker person, or the person that we deem will be recognized as less popular. I'm glad that you didn't allow that to bother you. I don't understand why it didn't work for you, because all I had to do was punch a dude in the nose once and break it. And that was it. It was all over.
Environment. It was totally
sure.
I believe you went to school in the city, right?
Well, see, I went to school in the city and Normandy. Same thing, same principle. At Normandy, I fought, and in the city, I fought. And all you had to do was whoop ass one good time.
Maybe it was a dude thing. Maybe.
Well, see, I had that was the other thing too. Like, I came up in a time because like you and my sister and everybody was fighting, and I was going to like man.
It was a skill kill zone. It was you take the Vaseline, you pull the hair back, you take off the earrings, you put on the rings.
Yeah, I do
the heaviest ring.
I'm walking away or I'm throwing books.
Okay. What are the other? When you was throwing down, he was throwing down. It wasn't none of this throw my long hair over my shoulder, man. It's talking about, girl, you're not gonna do nothing. I told my little middle schoolers today, y'all don't know what fighting is. My generation would have whooped your generation's tail 10 times over.
See, the thing is because the school, that's a whole different conversation for a whole different time. Because see, back then, like, you didn't get kicked out of school. You got 3 suspensions. And I was going to the magnet school. So I not only would I was just having that conversation with my mom. Like, I had to pick and choose my battles because I didn't want to get kicked out of, you know, these accelerated programs, these programs that were you had to fight, you had to pick and choose. Yeah, you had to pick and choose your battles. And I think back in the day, like in the black community, you weren't getting kicked out of a black school because you were defending yourself. That was taught, that was understood. You might have been
it's a lot of jungle.
Exactly. You might have been suspended. And if you got, you know, so many suspensions under your belt, but it's different now because gangs and drugs and all these different things, like now it's like almost one and done. So kids today have to think about, you know, their consequences. Yeah,
they could actually catch cases, whereas back in the day we usually didn't. Hey, Killzone, Adair asked a question to you guys earlier. He said, how can you tell? How do you know that somebody's spamming?
It's obvious when they're doing the same move over and over again.
So in Fortnite, there's a move. What
Fortnite is how? Because how could you spam in Fortnite?
Fortnite is a shooting game, so
yeah.
you could camp in Fortnite, meaning that you could in Fortnite you could build up your bases and stuff like that to get a vantage point to where people can't get you, and you could take the resources, build up a fort. You can cover yourself. Yeah, it's strategic. It's more strategic than say a fighting game because
What's the Viking game that Loopy plays?
I play For Honor.
For Honor, that's the one I meant.
So if I was wanting to do the same heavy attack, and I would just I would do the same heavy attack from the top, same place, over and over and over.
So it'd be like you're jumping in the air, hitting them in the head at the same time, over and over.
Yeah, or if I had my raider and I did a tackle move on them, and every time that came up, I did a tackle and knee them in the head, tackle, knee them in the head, tackle, knee them in the head. Now there is a way that you can stop that, but your play is you got to break the cycle.
Y'all don't know. See, I used to be doing. Y'all don't understand. I would take my character and who did I have? I had the one with the ice. I can't even remember, but no, get over here. Him in Mortal Kombat, I would do get over here all the time. So that's spamming.
Yes. And he said, how do you tell a troll player from a spammer, from a new player? Generally, a new player is a little bit more clumsy, like me. They're like, at some point, the troll player is going to connect the combo, even if they are spamming. That's just my opinion.
Matter of fact, we just watched this show, and it's so adorable, and it's so... I think you'll like it, Mama James. It's on Netflix. It's called High Score Girl. And it was literally a girl. It was one girl who was heavy in the games, and she was turning everybody up 20, 30, 40, 100 game winning streaks. And then there was this girl they were both in love with the main character. That was his thing. Like, he was a class clown. He didn't really get school or whatever, but he was heavy on the games. And so what ended up happening was this girl, she wasn't really adept at the games, but she basically started mastering it after a while. She was button mashing and stuff like that, and it's a cute little show, y'all. If y'all haven't watched this,
so button mashing basically means learning the combos or just pushing any button.
I don't know. There's some games you can't help but button mash in, like what was that?
See, this is hilarious. You guys have literally your own language.
Xenoverse. Xenoverse is a Dragon Ball Z game. It's literally the combos that you do is square and triangle. To me, that you can't do much but button mash in that. I mean, you could power up with other things and you can fly, but to attack, other than using the power up, it's square and triangle, and how many combos you can make with that square and triangle. And to me, that's just button mashing central.
Yeah. So Adair, when you said all of them, what are you asking about all of them? You asked the question, all of them. I see that you said you just wondered about the new player. Is it spamming versus the troll player? Because the moves and the combos, you use what you know. All of them are button mashers until you practice. Am I wrong? So basically, I would assume I would be a button masher because there's like probably two combos that I knew in Mortal Kombat. I have to be honest. My favorite players were Johnny Cage and Liu Kang, and then of course Sonya. And those are the three that I use when I play Mortal Kombat all the time. But every once in a while I get Scorpion and I do that get over here, but that's with him, that was the only move I knew. So now am I considered a button masher because? Yeah.
But see, there are some games that you can't button mash in. Like, you can button mash in Xenoverse all you want to, but if I put For Honor in front of you, there's no button mashing with For Honor. If you button mash, your character's just going to spin. With For Honor, you have to have more reaction time and skill and strategy.
So there's a set combo, like this 2 times and then this 1 time and this 1 time does this 1 move, right? Triangle, triangle, square, triangle.
For Honor's kind of like it's got different mechanics in a lot of fighting games.
Killzone, we're getting static again, dude.
That's not me.
Okay.
So somebody eating popcorn.
Okay. So it's just different mechanics, but I really want to transition a little bit.
Okay.
Into what we're supposed to be talking about.
Let's go.
So we supposed to be talking about. I really want to hear from Killzone because he's dealt with this a lot. I feel having someone accept who you are in the dating world as a Blerd.
I mean, you gotta find somebody that you gotta find somebody that's either accepting and they don't want to change. A lot of black women, they are, first of all, you got half of black women who haven't seen a good man, so they don't know what the model is, but they know that video games and nerd stuff and all, and the nerd culture and the Blerd culture is not what's considered cool. Sports and you know, the bling and the money and all of that. Those are things that men, quote unquote, are supposed to be into. So they aren't even going to give you the time of day. And then you got other, you know, if their father was into it, that, you know, they had role models and their father might have played games, so they're accepting of it a little bit more, but they're still influenced by the other group of black women and other black women that had fathers that weren't into gaming. So they want a lot of women, what I see are they want their men to be and especially in the black community, they want their men to be an accessory unless he's bold enough and brave enough to be what they would consider is an alpha male, or a man being a man and basically saying, hey, this is who I am, either you're gonna deal with it or not. Yeah. So what I've had to do is I've had to be that man and say, hey, this is who I am, this is what I'm about. You either gonna deal with that or you're not. And you know, that's pretty much what I've had to deal with. And it's hard because you want people to accept you. You wanted people to, you know, you go to work, you pay your bills on time, you know, you don't miss payments, you got a decent car, you know, you're dependable, you're on time for the date, you know, you're compassionate, you're a gentleman and all these different things. But because you're not what they expect or they or what they want in a man, it's kind of like, it's kind of a turnoff. So that's why, like, you know,
well, I think it's more, I don't think it's a turnoff, because I think it's more of a, you come with the basics of what they look for in a man, and they want to build on that. I think that's what's wrong. They want to change it. I think that's what's wrong with this generation of young ladies, is that they are so quick to try to change or try to warp individuals to what they view, and not just young ladies, but men also. You know, when I was married, I was very accepting of my spouse where he was. Very accepting. He came to me. One of the criteria I told my daughter when I was raising her, I said, hey, I said, when you make a decision to spend your life with someone, how they come to you is who you're deciding on. You're either going to accept them where they're at or you're not, period. And if you don't accept them where they at, then you don't need to be forming a life commitment with this person, because the only person that you can control is you. You can't change another individual, and you shouldn't want to. You know, everybody's not exactly what you want them to be, but then who says that what I want is the ultimate? Because I can guarantee you a lot of women really don't know what they want till they get it, and then they realize that's not really what I wanted. A lot of women say, I just want a man that's sensitive and that gets me, and then he cries all the time, and then I'm like, I really didn't want that.
Like in theory, I'm go with the flow in theory, but then some things will happen, like someone to put on Pokemon, and I'm like, I'm go with the flow, but I'm not watching Pokemon. When it comes, I don't understand. I really don't comprehend why women try to change men like that, because I've always operated on the try to adapt to them, because it's like, what am I doing? Nothing. I don't comprehend the wanting to, because It's a curiosity thing. I want to understand it. So you'll find me asking a lot of questions like why, why, until I really understand how a person thinks, so that I can understand their reasoning. It comes to the same things when it comes to gaming and hobbies. When they have certain hobbies and it piques my interest about it, like what makes this worth your time? I'm not criticizing it, but I am really curious about this. And then that's how I got turned on to shout out to my former best friend, the Panda, James. That's how I got turned on to these a lot of the gaming stuff, is because he was talking about it and it piqued my interest. It's like, I want to do that. So I started doing it. You don't even know what it's about. You don't even want to know. You didn't even ask. You just heard it, you assumed, and you went in a direction. But if you take the time like I did and you ask about it, if you take the time,
so now we're talking about women with gaming,
women with a lot of things, to just dismiss something that someone enjoys because you're ignorant about it is stupid.
Right.
So it takes, if you want to getting to know someone, it's about getting to know things they like. And if you get to know something that they like, you may actually enjoy it too.
So Killzone, then, would you consider a woman who say I was a jock, say I was a cheerleader in high school, but you fall in love with a guy and he's a gamer, so you want to be a part of his world, but this is the same world that you probably mocked and made fun of when you were in high school. So this is a person that actually meets your criteria of a pretender, but this is her guy's world. And she cares about this guy and she wants to be a part of it. So would she be allowed to be a part of this community, or would she be looked down upon because she just wants to be a part of this guy's community?
Well, this is the thing about that, is that if she wants to be a part of it, or she wants to find stuff, like, it's hard because you don't want to ask somebody that's not already invested or know certain stuff, like, about it. You don't want to force somebody. It's like, don't make me, like, I'm open. Like, I think gamers are more open to, I'll watch a reality show, or I'll watch a crazy TV show, or binge watch something because I love that person. I may not like it or whatever. I might get, like Loopy was saying, I might get turned on by it. I don't know, but a lot of times it's almost like like the women that I dated that weren't in the zeitgeist or weren't in the community, like they had to force themselves, and they really didn't like it, but they were doing it strictly to please me. It's like, spark your interest. It don't matter as long as you don't dunk on it or you respect it, because I'm playing. Yeah, I'm in here playing the game right now, but I could be out here in these streets. But
well, I think it's a part of spending time with you.
That doesn't count.
You don't just play the game. That's a big part of your life. The community, what you do.
Yeah, but at the same time, if I'm playing the game, right? Mm-hmm. If I'm ignoring you, then that's a problem. But if I'm not ignoring that woman who may not be into what I'm into, if I'm giving her her time every day, if I'm making her a priority, I'm calling her, I'm texting her, I'm trying to see what she's doing, I'm trying to make sure she all right. I mean, even if, and I've never lived with a woman, but I'm saying, even if I was living with a woman, at a certain time of day, okay, I know I got an hour. If I get off, say I get off at 3:00, my wife or my girlfriend gets off at 5. I get home at I get off 3. I get home at 4. So I know at 4:00, from 4 to 5 o'clock is my window to play the game. Because when she gets home, we're gonna clean up. We're gonna talk about how our day was. We're gonna fix dinner. We're gonna meal prep. We're gonna spend that quality time, and we're gonna end that day. You know what I'm saying? Because the woman should come first in the relationship anyway. But it's easier if you're with somebody who's already in the zeitgeist or who's already in the community, because now I don't have to compromise. I can plan a playtime with her, and then we're gonna still have that intimate time, so I don't have to split it. When I'm with if I have to split, women don't have to a lot of times men will do stuff because we don't want to make it seem like that the game or whatever is more important. And when we don't look at that as men, we don't. When a woman is out doing something, we don't look at that as they're choosing that over us. Now, only time we feel like that is when they're spending time with another man and we know about it. Like, oh, I'm gonna go kick it with my friend so and so, whatever. That's the only time we feel like that, because we know that that man is 9 times out of 10 he ain't up to no good. He trying to get in draws, or he trying to take my girl or whatever. But you know what I'm saying? That's the only time that we feel like that. But women feel like if you're not paying attention to me, especially if they're not in, especially if it's a game, they feel like, shoot, most women feel like games are for children. They feel like games, after a certain point, men should just throw all their games away or give them to their kids or sell them off because I'm more important. The game can't make love to you. The game can't give you no fellatio. You need to bow down to me.
How did we get there? Okay,
well,
so
I'm just telling you what goes down.
See, that's the life of a male Blerd. Let me tell you the life of a female Blerd. The life of us is different because we're not necessarily. He said we're rare, but I've been in and out of these groups. We ain't necessarily rare.
Oh, wait, I'm sorry. Loopy just cut there real quick. Adair said, "Oh snap! DJ Killzone Jones is preaching now."
So, we ain't necessarily. I don't think we're necessarily rare, but it's like we're out there because the male Blerds don't want someone to try to change them. Mm-hmm. When they spot one of us,
they snatch you up. They snatch you up. They put a ring on it. They put a baby in you first in the first year. Right, this is my time.
No. First they test you. First they test you with what you know, because you could be pretending. So I want to test you first to see what you know. Okay. Let me test you, see what you do, but see how you operate. Then they test you, and then when you pass the test, then they try to snatch you up.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So now I've got to tell you, because I've only touched base with the community twice. Being as the mother of an adult daughter, who I'm trying to let her live her life. I'm trying. I try to keep my hands off as much as possible, and to be in an advisory and friend capacity in these days, since she's an adult.
For sure, she said I can't move because when I have grandchildren,
that's right. Oh, please no, that's right. My grandkids gonna be here with me. The devil is a lie, but for the most part, I try. But then when I see a part of this gaming community intrude into real life. So Loopy had a post, and the post was a baby or was a pregnancy or some sort, and she's joking with Sumo. She made a joke to a friend Sumo about it, and then
no, Sumo wasn't in a part of it at all. They put him in it.
Okay, they put him in it. So she just made this post, and they start making these real raunchy jokes at my kid. Okay, so I mean at this young lady at Loopy. So my thing as this Blerd society is, first of all, that was some raunchy stuff. This back in the day when we considered something a nerd. Nerds were geeks, and geeks were pretty much like.
Well, see, then they grow up and become perverts. So,
and then this is part of this is, again, let me preface this right quick. This is part of the this is part of the community, are the guys that aren't getting any play, and they saw that, they spent some time together, that that's that they're very close or whatever. So they assume that that's who that they're seeing each other or whatever, in what capacity. And even though they've been in the conversation or whatever, and they know that's not necessarily the truth, or I don't know. But the point is, even if it is true or if it ain't true, they pretty much were disrespectful
because
they were being because I just saw the post. I didn't see the comments or whatever afterwards. But a lot of these guys do that because they're not getting that type of attention from a female, because anytime you're a male, because I've dealt with this myself, in that young lady I was telling you about earlier, it was a guy that I was in an anime club with at Florissant Valley, and I was talking to this girl previous that we had a conversation, and the girl, we didn't even go together, but the fact that I talked to this girl made me and him rivals. Instead of him coming to me as a man, like, "Hey, dog, why are you talking to the girl I'm trying to talk to?" And I knew him. I wasn't best friends, but just the fact that we were in close proximity, I could have been like, "Hey, bro, go ahead, shoot your shot. You was first. Go ahead. If she don't mess with you, then it's fair game. But if he didn't come to me as a man, he came to me as a female dog. So what ended up happening, that girl turned me down. He ended up cheating on that girl, but I ended up talking to another girl who wasn't even in the group. And he went around the entire Florissant Valley campus. Me and her had a breakup. We had many makeups to breakups, and that's a whole nother story. But this particular one was like our first one. And somehow he goes around and he tells everybody that we broke up because she wasn't giving me nothing. So he was going into offices, teachers, janitors. I was in this thing called the African American Male Initiative.
Who has that kind of time?
He was going around because he was not getting any play from any women. So he wasn't raised, and he was raised in a single parent household, as was I. So, but I know that you don't stoop to that type of level when you're trying to talk to a woman. You don't dirty Mac on somebody's name because you're trying to appease this woman or get this woman's attention. So
my question was, though, is that if females in your community are so rare, how come when they are in your community, you treat them, or they treat them like that?
Let me let you know. Here's a background on me and them, that group. The guy that made the post, I like to think of us, it's gonna sound silly, but frenemies. Let me explain. I started, remember a while ago, I explained how once I joined the clan, or I put my clan under the umbrella of another clan, I was attacked. The person that made that post was the person that attacked me. But once I cut ties from that clan, he was one of my biggest mentors. And there's another guy whose clan that I'm somewhat a little bit a part of, and he is one of my mentors as well. And they like to make jokes, and they like to mess with me. It's just what they do. They don't really mess with any other female like this in that group. It's not because I'm super attractive. It's not because they want me. It's because I don't take that shit. To be honest, I don't. When I first joined that, when I stood up against him and I wasn't gonna back down when he came at me, I made myself in their eyes a female that's acting like a dude. That's how they perceived it. I don't know what it is with
and they like you because that's
so you push back.
You push back. That's attractive to them, and they like you, and they know that, okay, because you friends with Sumo, that they're going to, and if Sumo is friends with them, they're going to have some type of what's the word that I'm looking for? They're looking for some type of I don't know what's the word I'm looking for here. They're looking for a reason for them to they're looking for a reason to get in where they fit in, because they're turned on by you. They are attracted to you, and they just don't have the guts to be like, okay, I'm attracted to Loopy, I'm gonna shoot my shot. So they all
taken.
It don't matter. When does that stop somebody?
So what you're basically saying is verbal foreplay. I get it. Yeah. So this is my thing. So Loopy, because I'm still Mama Tay. At the end of the day, maybe you should let them know the boundary is they.
Oh yeah, he got blocked. Mentor or not, he got blocked because he has a daughter, he has sisters, and he has family. Mm-hmm. So if someone was to do some stuff like, because somebody actually said congratulations as if I was pregnant because they didn't see the whole picture.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how rumors get started. So I told him, and I told him, I said, if I see you posting something, I said, I give you the benefit of the doubt. If I see you post something like this, I'm going to introduce you to my block list. He screenshotted that and then shared it in the group and said, I must have made Loopy mad. Yes, you did. Blocked. Because I can't. Mentor or not, maybe at some point I will unblock him. I'm pretty sure he don't care. But mentor or not, you can't do that. You can't just share that and be like, congratulations, make Loopy and Sumo trade. It don't work like that. Like, so there are lines that you don't cross.
This is not what every female in the community can expect, but just some.
If they shoot their shot with, because it ain't one woman in the Veronica, they got, I didn't get what other women got. A few women, because I posted on a daily basis, but a lot of women in these communities stay ghosts and just read and comment a little bit, because the moment they make a post, you got a whole bunch of people on that post shooting their shot or saying raunchy jokes.
Yeah, because again, like I said, it's so, again, it goes back to what I said. It's so, y'all are so rare to the point where they gotta snatch, they trying to put their bid in, they trying to snatch you up. And I think it's growing now. I think that, more women are being or comfortable with jumping into the gaming community. They got to thank for Fortnite and Call of Duty and games like that, and they're spinning them into other game genres of gaming and stuff like that. So they, or even if they just play that, it's still making it an open community to where that's more acceptable. But they trying to like dudes online, whether they with somebody or not. That's the evil of the internet, because back in the day, and I remember this because this was like me and Loopy. It was like the last of this generation that remembers life without the internet. Like, you didn't have all of this lust and all of this in front of you. And for men, it's different, because now we're not only limited to the women that are in our peer group or at our job. Now we have the power. We can talk to women in all across our city, all across our state, different states, form relationships and try to set up things for the future. And so now dudes are out looking for single female gamers and single female blerds and nerds, because it is still a rare thing. And it don't let that woman be a cosplayer and post provocative pictures, and don't let that woman be a voice actor, or don't let her be in the industry, or don't let her be a streamer. Oh man, because you're gonna, like, I told Loopy this a long time ago. If she was really heavy on the streaming circuit, and she was like, she don't even have to dress provocatively. She can make bank just sitting there in a t-shirt and some jeans or some leggings or something, and playing whatever game she want to play. And all she really needs is a PlayStation camera, and she'd be on her way. Everybody would be in her stream. And it wouldn't take her nothing but maybe 6 months to get a Twitch partnership, and she'd be good to go. You'll have dudes sending Patreon and trying to get specialized messages and getting on the Skype or getting on the podcast and all this other stuff, just tricking their money away just so they can have a conversation. So with the possibility of some fornication on the, so it's not even guaranteed. They just want to be able to talk to you and conversate.
They want pictures. They want to talk on the phone about sex. That's why I had to be like, hey, I'm long distance, but I'm interested in you. You can move to me. I can move to you. Let's start talking. No, because you want pictures and you want to have phone sex and you want to sex, and that's boring to me. First of all,
okay. So let's
touch on what Adair said in the comments, because he cracking me up.
What did he say?
He said it's that back to what I was saying about the guys and what Killzone was saying. He said it's like that old thing from kindergarten: boys hit girls that they like. Validation ? And then he was explaining to me. He was like, "Let me help you out, Loopy. Let me make you understand. A lot of men are opportunists, involved or not. If you seem like you are open, they will try."
Well, and you know what?
Hey.
See now, and that's another thing for me because listen, not totally off the Blerd topic, but and I talked to Loopy about this because I was really concerned. I'm not an Instagram user much. I think Instagram is really for that younger generation because they prefer images, quick communication, whereas I prefer commentary. As y'all can tell, I really like to talk. So that said, Facebook gives you more room for commentary, writing longer messages and whatnot. Not so really with Instagram. Things are transferred by hashtags or what have you. So it's not really my thing. But for Midwest Creations Publishing, if you didn't know, Killzone, that I'm no longer just an author. Now I'm a publisher. And as of January the 1st, we have at least 3 authors that we are publishing this year.
Woo-woo.
And at least 9 publications that'll be coming out, 9 novels. And by 9, I mean 2 different versions of certain novels. So like electronic and then paper, and that counts as 2, what have you. But notwithstanding, it's definitely an endeavor. It's a big thing, and I wanted to get word out. So I'm trying to use all of the social media platforms that I can to do so. Instagram is a big one because you drive it with hashtags. You get more people to see you visibly. So I'm like, okay, I'll do this. But in doing so, my Instagram channel is open, because I want to get the word out and I want people to see it, and I want to like other pages and other pages like mine so they can see the advertisement for my authors, to which Adair, who's in the comments right now, is one. But now I'm getting all of these men sending me messages like I invited that. And I'm like, this is not Match.com. I didn't say I wanted you to contact me or that I was interested in any of this kind of communication. So then when I go to explain to one, his response is, I say, you know what? The thing is that I really don't communicate with people on social media much that I don't know, because catfishing is a thing. And though you've got a picture and several pictures, I don't know if you're male, woman, man, woman, armadillo, or I don't know what you are. I don't know what you are. Therefore, I prefer not to make friends, but I will say hi because I don't want to be rude. And you said hello, but just don't expect future communication. Thank you for reaching out. And the response was, well, friendship is important, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, yes, it is. I'm glad you took the time to read my message, and I'm glad you agree. And then they said, well, if you agree that friendship is important, why won't you be friends with me? Are you begging me?
Oh, yeah. That's what I'm saying. You gotta put.
You went wrong by responding to him. Yeah. Because you responded, he thinks you're at least a little bit interested to get your 1%.
I'm 47. I'm trying not to be rude. You said hello. I wanted to say hello back, but to tell you, don't expect me to say hello because I don't know you.
There are so many women that say that, but if you get them to laugh, or if you tell a little, they'll get in and start talking to them. They feel like the moment you respond, you give them room.
Okay, so I was told by Misha and my Loopy that I am making too big a deal of this because there were several. Like one guy even said, I saw your picture and I really like your lips. I'm like, what?
I told you just to do. What did I tell you? What did I tell you about our lips? I was like, Mama Tay, I was like, what is it with our lips that guys love?
I don't know. I don't
take the compliment and keep it moving.
Care. What about my communication in being a Christian publisher led you to believe that I was looking for that type of comment?
Because he saw those lips and he imagined them in different ways than you thought.
I don't even want to be in his mental Rolodex like that.
Ignore and block.
And so she said ignore and block. Okay, so I ignore. Do you know that these men are still in my DMs? Hello?
That's what we call them.
Are you there? Are you going to say hi to me? No, I'm not going to say hi to you. It's been 4 weeks. I haven't said hi to you. I'm not going to say hi to you. So I'm like, when does this stop?
It doesn't. You block.
Jesus,
that's why. And you report them. You don't just block. You report them.
Dare said dirty. Dare said don't get me started.
Oh yeah, I mean, you gonna shoot the shot. Like, I mean, I ain't gonna lie, I did, but it's like, you know, you shoot your shot, and then you gonna keep shooting till you hit a.
But there's pride. Killzone, there's pride.
It's anonymous. They have no pride. But like Killzone has to deal with a totally different type. You think
Christians are freaks too.
You think it's hard for you as
no
a
matter.
Killzone has to deal with women inboxing him for money for pictures.
Yeah. I can shoot my shot and they'll be like, I can shoot my shot and they'll be like, here, I charge this for whatever, and I charge this for whatever. And then after a while, like even if you're not even trying to shoot your shot, you can just be following somebody and say, oh, she's cute or whatever, and like the picture. Like I've had people that I have liked the picture or two, and they'll be like, well, okay, because you like this picture, you know, I got this free Skype call or free whatever call that, you know, we could get on, or I got, you know, if you pay this amount of money, like it's really real because women, and this is the thing about that, it's not a bad thing, because what women are realizing, because men are leading with lust, and a lot of women online are leading with lust, they have decided to monetize it, and men are paying for sexual pictures and sexual conversations and even sexual encounters with these women, because they are selling sex, and because they are doing that, you know, they are. You know, a lot of women are out here that are tricking, and then you have a lot of guys out here that they'll look for a woman like you that, okay, she got her clothes on, I can talk to her, if I can get her to laugh, like Loopy said, if I can engage her and she engages me back, and then we just keep talking, and then, you know, but you got to be looking for that. And some dudes don't know how to take a no for an answer. So because they don't know how to take no for an answer, they're gonna keep inboxing you. They're gonna keep, and you gotta what you gotta do if you're trying to sell your products is you can only reply to the people that are being professional on the social media pages. So if a brother inboxes you the next time, if they're not saying, hey, I bought your book, I enjoyed it, I just wonder, you know, I just wanted to let you know, and then you shout that brother out, hey, he bought the book. That's how you interact on a business tip. You don't, you know, online you're gonna have a lot of men because you are attractive, even though you're an older woman, or what we consider old. I don't think 47 is old.
I feel like it's old, Dad.
Okay, well, you're a grown, beautiful black woman. Men are going to shoot their shot. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna like, I don't even know if you notice, like they have a 10 years.
So how do I say before they do it preemptively, the court is closed?
You don't.
You don't have to make, because you're not selling sex, you don't have to say that. You can just keep going as business as usual. The next man, if you read the message and they ain't bought a book, don't answer to them. You know what I'm saying? You can be nice and be like, thanks for the follow, hope you enjoy the book or something like that, but you keep it professional, and that way they know from the giddy up if you message them back. But you want to kind of interact with them, but it has to be business. Thanks for the follow. Thank you for the compliment. Hope you enjoy the book. You know, pre-type message, basically. You can put it in your notes app on your phone, and you can copy that bad boy and drop it in that inbox message, and then keep it moving. And then if they want to, and you know, if they give you another compliment, say, hey, the link is in the bio, or the next copy message is the link to the book or whatever. You give them that, and then you keep it moving. And if they got a question about the book, hey, what inspired you to write this book about this character at this time? That's the person that you're gonna engage with. But the moment they start
class,
And,
I need you to teach class.
And don't let you be like a really thick or overweight woman, because then they think they can play on insecurities that are not there. Then they think they gotta weigh in. And really don't let you be a black woman, because then you're a black woman, you think that black women got this attitude, this is why I hit up white women. Okay, hit up Becky then. Well, so there's so many wrong things about online. It's ridiculous. This is coming from a person.
And by the way, can you change the Instagram from my name to Midwest Creations?
Yeah.
So that doesn't say my name?
Yes.
Okay.
And then this is coming from a person, don't hit me, Mama Tay, who's been dating online since she was what, 14 years old?
I don't want to know this.
So
I don't want to know that.
I've talked to a lot of guys. I have not met them all, but I've talked to a lot of guys online. And when I say that the criteria almost dang near fits them all, is they're horny, they're lonely, and selfish.
I gotta tell you, the internet took Pee Wee Herman right out of the theater into your own DM, didn't he? They're right there in my inbox now. Instead of you can if you want to see naked women, there are various resources of pornography out there.
They don't like that. You know what they tell me? They say, I want something personal. I want something just for me.
That's
what
call a 900
line.
line. I don't call it.
That's what they say. What? I'm like, leave me alone. Leave me alone. Go away. Yes, they want something that was made just for them. Only their eyes can see.
I'm sorry, Kills, you didn't see the face you just made when you did. I heard. I can't. Jesus will. I cannot. Okay. So here's my thing then. So in this community, dating then, how is that done when the women are pounced on by hundreds of people the moment they make themselves known?
Well, to be honest, when I approached a certain somebody and they was with it, that's how it happened. But I know once I shoot my shot and I get rejected, and if I get up to the point of getting a phone number, if I call you twice and you don't answer the phone, you know what I'm saying? I'm done. Like I'm not gonna chase you down. I'm not, because I got stuff I should be doing, and lusting on Facebook or lusting on Instagram or online, that ain't on the agenda. Right. Like we trying to build this network up of creative people, and we trying to keep trying to keep the business as business. And we trying to keep feelings out of it. We trying to move up at our prospective jobs so we can put more money into this. We're trying to learn skills to get new jobs, to put more. I don't have time to be sitting up running. At the age that I'm at, I'm not old by any. You wouldn't consider me old, but at 28 years of age, I don't have the time or the luxury to go around and chase women all day long. Now, there's some brothers out there that they don't have no hustle or no ambition. They have been, not to talk down on nobody, but this is what it is. Your poopies are your rays, if you will. All they got time to do is hustle. All they got time to do is womanize and get women all day long. I however want to be somebody. So, I let them get the women and I let them do what they do. But I'm a Blerd. I'm trying to get some money. I'm trying to leave a legacy. I'm trying to make sure when I actually lay down and have kids with somebody and marry a woman, that when the children that I procreate with, they have
you gotta children that you create.
Stop.
Procreation.
Excuse me. The children that I made. Excuse me. Hold on. That did sound. That sounded a little Pied Piperish. But hold up. Rewind. The children that I create, the woman that I create the children with, they are taken care of. They want for nothing. They have a launch pad for their dreams and their goals, and that I'm there as a good example. I don't have time now to be all off in this woman DM, because if she wanted to be with me, she would already be on my line. She would already understand who I am. She would already understand what's going on. So I don't have to play all these mind games. I don't have to try to spit game to her. I don't have to try to get her to be on my team. I don't have to try to chase her. If she wants to be on the team, she would already be on the team.
And to answer Mama J's question, these are the ones that they pick. And how do they pick them? Generally, they're the least thirsty guys. They're the least ones yelling, "Pick me." They're telling you what they want, and they tell you they want you, and that's what and then the rest is you take it from there. If you want me back, you tell me. The thirsty ones was like, I got this, and this, and this, and this, and this, and I think you're pretty, and you got this, and this, and this, and you could almost imagine a 5-year-old twirling their hair, and then this, and this, and this, and this, and this. Those are the ones you ignore.
Is there room for the community for a woman that's not interested in any of that? A woman,
yes. If she does not want to, if she's not going to judge, like you saw in the animated that me and Loopy was watching, if she's not going to judge, if she's not going to put us down, then of course yes. But if she got any type of, if she just like the broad that was dissing my friend at the dinner table while he's trying to get to know her and everything else like that, then we don't want her to be a part of the community. We don't want to have no relations or relationships with her. We don't want her. No.
You see, there are plenty of women that are in the community that have no interest in men, meaning they're lesbian. So that's, I'm saying there are, and I've learned, like I said earlier in the podcast, it is they're like, you must support the LGBTQ community. Somebody added A. I don't know what the heck A stands for. I'm gonna have to look that up.
And if they add a P to it for pedophilia, let's not go out the door.
Let's not go down that road. Let's not go down that road. That's a conversation for another time. Let's not even open it up.
I'm just gonna throw it out the door.
That's sorry. Not. Okay, so and I'm not. I don't care. No. Why? I don't care about the LGBTQ community, but you're not going to tell me what I can and cannot support. Now, does me not supporting the community mean I hate them? No. Do I not support them? No, I don't support, nor do I. What's the opposite of support?
Not support.
Yeah, I don't hate them, but you can't force it upon me that I must march for you and just share your sentiments.
Case in point. Kevin Hart. Talk about that real quick.
Sorry. Really?
My bad.
This is what happened when you got your mama on your show.
I'm sorry.
For example, Mama, Kevin Hart said some really, really.
Okay, but he apologized several times.
He did.
No, but now
what do you want?
Now the NBC correspondent is told him that he needs to become an advocate for their community.
Oh no, you're not gonna force me to. I don't have to do that. I don't hate you, but I don't have to give you money. I don't have to march for you to agree that you get what you get. I don't care. It's simple. Yeah. I don't care. So I wouldn't agree to a lot of terms in a lot of Blerd groups because they were mashing them together. If you accept Blerdness, automatically you are a warrior for the LGBTQ community. Don't say that. Don't put words in my mouth. And I'm not agreeing to that shit.
No, I'm a firm believer of everybody having the right to choose whatever they want to do because we live in a country that advocates that. It's a part of the law. I'm not going to judge you for what you do. I'm not going to ask you to judge me for what I do. But just like people don't like Christianity because of their own experiences or what have you, I believe what I believe. Now, if you ask me what I believe, you're not going to like what you're going to hear. So don't ask me what I believe. I love all people. And you can do whatever you want to do because it's your life. I'm going to do whatever I want to do because it's my life. I just don't want to see you doing it, just like I don't want you to see me doing it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, people are like, you don't have to accept them, but you do have to respect them. Says who? Now, Now let me listen to everybody. I'm not saying this. I'm not talking about the LGBT community. This was a totally different post that I saw. I couldn't remember what they were talking about, but they were like, you don't have to accept what I like, but you do have to respect it. Why? Why should I even care? I don't exactly.
Our president don't do none of it. He don't respect nothing.
I am my own person. You don't know what I'm thinking. I could be thinking that I don't respect nothing you do. So you telling me that I don't have to like the fact that you like little boys, but I do have to respect it? No, not at all.
No.
Now, and on that note, I'm going too far off into rant land.
Yeah.
So we're going to end this, and everybody can sum up everything, say their last, summing up everything, what was going on.
Yep.
Starting with Killzone, today we talked about, let's see, social media groups with Blerds, and we're talking about acceptance and understanding, and when it came to dating and romance. Killzone, what's your
tie it all up, bro?
Yeah.
You gotta love who love you, and you also, if you're on social media and you're in this zeitgeist, you need to you need to realize that there are rules and boundaries. A lot of them are unwritten. If they're not accepting you in a certain group or subgroup of this zeitgeist of this community, make your own. And keep them moving. Nobody's going to roll out any red carpets for you. Nobody's gonna kiss your behind. And when you try to talk to women, you gotta still remain respectful, and keep pushing. That's all.
Pushing.
Nice. Mama Tay.
What are we talking about? Rapping, disrupting?
Wrap up. Yeah.
What my key points are?
And what you took from the conversation.
Oh, takeaways. Okay. Well, my biggest takeaway was really, and I really appreciated Killzone and Loopy's help with the Instagram, because I'm not understanding the medium. I get what social media is, but my thought that social media had its certain categories and buckets, right? That there were buckets for actually socializing, there were buckets for networking, and then there were buckets for dating, and that those specific types of sites like Match.com, and what's another one? Mickey said Tumblr used to have other stuff on it.
Tumblr was known for its raunchy
stuff.
Type
right.
Stuff.
So if you were going on Tumblr, that's what you were getting. I know if I go on Match.com or if I go on the Craigslist ads page or what have you, I know that you're looking for a person. That was not my expectation when I signed on for Instagram. I did not expect that to bleed over into something that I assumed was like Facebook. And that's because I think my Facebook page is closed. So if my Facebook page were open, I probably would have experienced something totally different than what I'm experiencing here. So it's a learning experience for me, and I appreciated that from you guys. And my biggest takeaway is that the Blerd community is a little bit, it's
pretentious. Sorry.
Don't be trying to hijack my statement with your own words. The Blerd community, I think, for me, is trying to have its own niche, but in doing so, it's hurting itself. I think that people should just be allowed to be people. And I think that sometimes my interest is maybe I did make fun of it one day in the past, but maybe I actually like it now, and that should be okay. But as for trollers and pretenders, they're everywhere. They infiltrate every community. They infiltrate your job. They troll you on your job. They work in a desk right next to you at your job, trolling you. I mean, it's just the nature of people in this world where everything is taken so freaking seriously. I think that the Blerd community should not be a part of that faction. I think if you're going to, we need to allow ourselves to be different. The world tries to hold Black people to this stricture of hairdos, being professional and have to look and act a certain way or talk a certain way or be a certain way to be considered professional and Black. I don't really want the Blerd community to say that in order for me to be a Blerd, I have to be this way. I have enough strictures put upon me as a Black person by society itself. Can't I just be me and that be okay?
And that helps with my closing statement because I made a post earlier. Kind of sounded suicidal, but I didn't mean for it to. And my post was, does anyone ever think about how our existence is kind of like a prison? And it truly is. Like, you're born into a world where after 18, I can't just walk off and do what I want to do. I can't just walk off and go off the radar. There'll be posters looking for me, and I can go to jail for just disappearing. My existence is a prison. I have to let the government know where I am, how I am. I have to pay the government for something that I own. I have to pay the government to drive a car that I pay for.
It's a privilege, not a right.
So it feels like a prison. So when it comes to something I enjoy, when it comes to relaxing and having fun, I don't want to walk on eggshells. I don't want everything that I do or say to be critiqued and broken down. And one thing I love about what I initially got, the vibes I initially got off the Blerd society or nerd society in general, was we're all weird and crazy and wacky in our own way. And I like that. And because it's so hard for me to fit in general with people, I thought that I could fit into that. Mm-hmm. When I dived into it and I realized it was just like everyone else, all the other groups, it was just the same, that you're wacky, but you're not wacky enough. You're nerdy, but you're not nerdy enough. You're blerdy, but you're not blerdy enough. It was frustrating for me, and so I just shut down. And there's a lot of things that I want to get into and a lot of things that I want to explore, but I stopped myself because the Blerd society, like I said earlier, well, when Mama Tay was talking, it is pretentious. Because other people feel superior to the Blerds or nerds because they're not into such geeky or childish things. The Blerd people do have their little pretentious, oh, so you don't know what I know type thing. And that is frustrating. So it's a thing that you have to accept if you want to be a part of that community. And I have accepted it. It's not something that I really like. It's something I accept because I enjoy a lot of the community. I enjoy learning about comics that someone read, knowing that I don't have the patience to read tiny books. I really don't. I can't. And like read graphic novels. So you're telling me I gotta wait for them to put it all in one book? Don't have the patience for that either. I really don't. I enjoy playing video games. I enjoy reading books. I enjoy doing a lot of things. But it all comes down to acceptance.
Well, that's a good word.
It all comes down to rejection. When someone within the Blerd society does exactly what someone outside the Blerd society has done to them, which is act above and reject someone because they don't act like them or they're not on that same level.
Judging.
To me, that discourages the people in society and it's not good for building in the society. And when you're someone like me, I don't want to be where I'm not wanted. And you're someone like me where I'm not really good with people. And you're someone like me where you'll pull into yourself and shut down. Is that their problem? No, that's my problem. I got to fix that. But it would help if you were more accepting of that, just as you are overly accepting of the LGBTQ community. You're more accepting as a Blerd of the LGBTQ, not to say you shouldn't be, then you are
socially awkwardness.
Exactly, or then you are of me not knowing as much as you. So you're saying it's okay. So if I like girls, you'd accept me more? Really? So that's my frustration with the social media. As for dating, my frustration is I I don't want to say my frustration, what I've gathered from this. What I've gathered from Killzone in the Dare in the chat is that men never grow up.
What?
They will forever, ever poke the little girl that they want to play with. That's what I gathered from that.
No, well, this is the thing about it.
I'm not touching you.
This is the thing about that, though. Let me say that is if a guy is doing that, right? You're paying attention to him. If he was in your inbox saying, "Oh, honey, I love you and everything about you, and you're so beautiful and all of that." No, if I go up to a girl, if I go in a girl inbox right now and say, you got a big old nose, or you got a big old head, and you look like this, it's gonna get her attention. If I do it right now, it's gonna get there. Now I might not get. And then she go to my page, and she see that I got something going on. She gonna be like, "Oh, I might talk to him a little bit. He just making fun of me. It's all good." Or if I say something off the wall, like my boy O'Shea Duke Jackson, one of my mentors, he'll go into a girl inbox and be like, "Let me rub this Crisco oil on the back of your kneecaps real quick." Like, he'll say something that off the wall to get you to be engaged with him, and that's what happened, because that, "Oh, hey, hi, what's up? How you doing?" That don't work. They don't get it no more. It might pull Mama James, but it ain't gonna pull 20-something, 30-something year old woman. You know what I'm saying?
What might pull me? What I missed?
Saying hi or what's up. He right, it's not. Because I've gotten some outlandish messages and it make me crack up. I was like, this deserves a response. LOL, what? And then they take that and they just dive in from there.
Yeah, because you're trying to shoot your shot. Like, and then don't again, and especially in the Blerd community, they gonna shoot their shot. They gonna just keep shooting. It's like practice. They just gonna keep.
They have nothing to lose.
It's closed. The baskets are up.
What she gonna say? No, like it's a guy that I know. He's a near and dear friend of mine. He is talking to a girl. I think they might. I ain't gonna say it all the way out there because I don't want him to think it'll be differently. But he shot his shot at this girl, and then I hung back, and he got her. He got her. Boom! He got her. So you know what I'm saying? Like, and I noticed that the girl in question, because I think I said, like, she was in mixed company, and I said, "Oh, she was cute or whatever, I'm gonna talk to her," and it might have got back to her because them same lame dudes I was telling you about earlier. She blocked me on social media. Now I wouldn't have talked to her anyway because that's my guy's girl, but you know what I'm saying? That type of stuff, like, the early bird gets the worm. So if I keep shooting my shot, and like them dudes that was trying, they feel like Sumo is in there or whatever. So they feel like, well, shoot, I'm gonna just keep shooting my shot because they could be together. I don't know. I'm not finna ask Sumo, which I should ask Sumo as a man. Hey, am I trying to, but it is what it is.
I think all of this, and I guess you were right in saying all of this is a lot of game playing, and y'all just don't have time. I love it when you said, I got things that I'm trying to do. You've got a life that you're trying to build and create. You don't have time to be playing these games to try to figure out. You said 2 messages. I thought that was a great precept. If you don't respond after I've messaged you 2 times, then obviously you're not interested, and I get to move on. And I guess that's my thing my take is that we all out here trying to live this life. We all trying to be living our best life. I'm trying to live God's best life because I tried mine and my way didn't work too well. So I'm going to try his way and see how that works. But the bottom line is that we all trying to live a best life. And in these games, the game playing, I get it, Loopy. I get that that's a part of the community. I would just really prefer that to take place out there in the open on your page. And if it did, they knew that they had boundaries. I don't like it when people disrespect boundaries. It's a disrespect to you as a person. And at that point, it's a disrespect to me as a person, because I don't want to see some kind of comments that raunchy crap on your page. They've got to assume that every female out there has a mother, has a father. And I love
see that nobody responded when I say I hope somebody's out here talking to your mothers, sisters, and daughters like this. Nobody responded after that. So we're gonna end on that note, and we're gonna end on shout outs. I'm gonna shout out my new Blerd group that I've started called I Love Nerdy Brown People. So I'm shouting out me. It's a Facebook group. Pretty much anything goes. Laughs, serious topics if you want to post them. Definitely anything nerdy when it comes to comics, games, books. What am I missing? Anime. I feel that that's a big one. Also, shout out to, I don't know very many people online anymore. I cut a lot of people off before 2019. It's like more like 3 years ago. Anyway, ranting. Just so shouting out me. Mama Tay?
Yes.
You want to shout something out?
Yes. I would like to shout out Midwest Creations Publishing. We are in our first year of publication. Adair Rowan, who has been ever present in our comments tonight. I'd just like to thank him for showing up for the podcast and for supporting. He is actually our first author that we will be putting out, Concentric Relations, The Unknown Ties. It's
Which
great book.
Right?
It's more suspense, science and technology, but I mean, it's definitely an awesome read. I've read it, and not only that, but my beta reader is having a ball with it. So that's going to be released on March 19th, the third Tuesday of March. So we're excited about that. There'll be a virtual release party, and we've got more books coming, including The Hater's Prayer later this year in May. And a couple of my publications, an anthology for Brainwaver, books 1.5 and 2.5. So tune us in on Facebook if you can. We're faith-based publications, but our stuff is fun. Okay, if you like strong chicks that like to fight, read my junk. If you love mystery and if you love suspense and if you love science and technology and all that good stuff, then Adair's got you covered as of March with the e-release. So,
and I'm my bad. I get so into me. It's an only child thing. That my bad. I forgot to thank him, Adair, so much for his activity in the chat. This is one of the most activity we've ever gotten, and I appreciate that. Taking the time to watch us tonight. Killzone?
I would like first thank you for having me on here. It's always a pleasure. I want to shout out to you, to Mama James, as always, and shout out to my boy came back to our podcast, Visa Biz Podcast, and thank you, Loopy, for coming on there yesterday. Shout out to my boy John Iro at Real Gamer News, been holding me down for the last 5 or 6 years. Shout out to my boy Crimson Knight or Phoenix Knight, aka Volkmeyer 4 on Twitch. Shout out to my boy Rich once again from the video game show and Mo Game Con. Shout out to my boy Mel Weezy at the Geekly Podcast, another Black Blerd podcast. Who else do I need to shout out? I think that's, let me think, who did we get? Everybody. Shout out to my boy Young Link Jr., O'Shea Duke Jackson, and Zub03969. The last two of my mentors. The first one was my friend out of Detroit. And that's it. Shout out to Gov-Na LoOpy's Roundtable, everybody who was on the podcast, past, present, and future. Shout out to Sumo Trey. He couldn't make it, but shout out to him. Yeah, that's it.
He's somewhere asleep. I'm disappointed in him right now. I know he's asleep. I know he's
make it sound like like a Grammy night speech, but a Grammy accepted speech. But yeah.
Well, see, that's why I saved you for last because I knew you had a list. You know people.
You know people. You got connections.
All right. That's it for tonight. Thank you so much for you guys for joining me on the round table again. We will be back again next week. I am doing no more pre-recorded shows because the last one did not make it. We're gonna call it the Lost Show. One day it's gonna be on her. Y'all gonna be like, what is this? Yeah, that's what we're gonna call it. So
Jurassic Park.
I will keep you up with this. I love Nerdy Brown People theme again until I get bored with it. And check us out one more time on Facebook. I love Nerdy Brown People. 18 plus is you just got to be 18 to be in the group. Check us out. Well, check me out on Instagram, Gov-Na LoOpy. I make a lot of memes about randomness because I'm loopy. Anyway, thank you all for watching or listening, and have an awesome week. Don't kill nobody. I promise I won't.